Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari and welcome to the series on chapter 17 of Indian Penal Code. In the introduction to chapter 17, I have already told that there are 85 sections covering 9 different types of offences and I am going to cover them one by one. The first session, this session where I am going to handle the 5 first sections starting from section 378 to 382, which is all about theft. Now the first section, that is 370, is very important and I have all the details along with case laws. If we have all the details, why to waste time? Let's get into the first slide. Before getting into the details of all these 5 sections, if you give me 60 seconds challenge to explain all these 5 sections within 60 seconds, here it goes. Section 378 defines what is theft. 379 gives the punishment up to 3 years or fine or both. 380 discusses about theft done in the place where humans are residing and there the punishment can go up to 7 years or fine. 381 discusses about theft of master's property by clerks or servants and there the punishment can go up to 7 years or fine. And section 382 discusses about theft with preparation and the punishment there can go up to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment or fine or both. The first section, that is section 378, defines what is theft. Now what is theft as per this particular section? It is whoever intending to take dishonestly any movable property out of the possession of any person without that person's consent moves that property in order to such taking is said to commit theft. So I hope you have observed that I have broken those sentences into 5 different parts. What are they? They can be considered as the ingredients or the essentials of theft. The first ingredient is that should be a movable property of another and such movable property should be in the possession of another and there should be absence of consent from another and there should be dishonest intention should be present and such property should be taken away. When all of these are happening, then only it is considered as theft. Now, if you need an example, let us imagine that A has parked his car in his parking yard and B comes and takes it away. Now, B has done theft because the car is a movable property and such movable property was in the possession of A and B, without taking consent from A, takes it away and he has a dishonest intention with him to take that property with him and he takes it away. Now all of them are satisfied, so this is a theft. However, remember that the movable property or the possession or the absence of consent, all these are explainable aspects. Now we need to have more details. Let us try understand concept by concept. The first concept is movable property, and if I start explaining what is movable property, this is going to be a lengthy lecture. I, in my playlist Transfer of Property Act, have made one independent lecture on movable and immovable property and I hope it is better that you can refer that video so that you will have certain idea about movable property. Now there are few technical aspects you need to remember. Now human body can be moved from one place to another place, but that should not be considered under this particular chapter. However, if somebody is stealing kidney etc. apart from the human body, that will come under section 378. That is a technical aspect. Likewise, the stealing of electricity can be considered as theft and you can also steal animals, that is also considered as theft. All of them are covering under this particular chapter as movable property. The second aspect is such movable property was in the possession of another. Now imagine you are walking on the road, suddenly you find a bundle of currency and you are lifting it. Yeah, there also you have certain responsibility. However, that will not be considered as theft. That is very important. So here it is not in the possession of anybody. It was on the public way. So if you are picking that, that will not be considered as theft. Only when you are taking something from others' possession, then only if you have dishonest intention and other ingredients, then it will be considered as theft. Otherwise, it is not. And the last aspect is such property should be taken away. Now you have taken a movable property which is in the possession of the another, you have taken without consent from that particular person, you have dishonest intention to take it away and you are taking it away. When you are taking it away, whether it needs to be permanent or it can be temporary also. That is the question which was raised in the case law of Pyarelal Bhargav versus State. Here what happened, a government employee took office file and gave it to someone for the purpose of 2 days, and after their usage he brought it back and kept it back. Now whether this is theft or not, it was held in this case that permanent movement of movable property is not required, even done for temporary period with dishonest intention is sufficient to consider as theft. So if somebody is completing all of these 5 aspects, then that is considered as theft as per section 378. There is one more case law which is coming in alignment to Pyarelal Bhargav case, that is K.N. Mehra versus State of Rajasthan. Here in this case, an accused took Indian Air Force plane without authorization for temporary purpose. Though he has taken such plane for temporary purpose without authorization, that is considered as theft. Now one last case law that you can refer is Rameshwar Singh case. Here Rameshwar Singh mistakenly took others' cycle thinking that it is his own cycle. The court held that it is not theft because there mens rea or bad intention is missing, so it is not theft. So there should be dishonest intention. Unless and until dishonest intention is there, that will not be considered as theft because all the ingredients are not sufficiently completed. That is all you need to understand as far as section 378 is concerned. Section 379 discusses about punishment for theft. What is the punishment? Punishment can go up to 3 years of imprisonment or fine or with both. Now under schedule 1 of CRPC, these are cognizable offences, non-bailable offences, and any magistrate can conduct the trial under the offences conducted under section 379. And finally, if the owner of the property stolen, if he wishes to take the cases back, then it is possible as per the composition under section 320 of CRPC, which says these offences are compoundable offences. Section 380 discusses about theft in dwelling house, etc. Now the offence comparing to 378, the offence under section 380 is more serious because here the theft is happening in a place where human beings are residing. Like for example, it may be a building, tent or vessel, etc. And the punishment also is in higher side, which can go up to 7 years or fine or both, and these are cognizable offence, non-bailable offence, any magistrate can conduct trial, and these are non-compoundable offences. Section 381 discusses about theft by clerk or servant of property in possession of master. Here, theft of master's or employer's property by clerk or servant causes a punishment of up to 7 years or fine or both. Now these are cognizable offences, non-bailable offences, any magistrate can conduct. However, the composition under section 320 of CRPC makes it a compoundable offences. For that, the consent of the owner of the property along with the permission of court is very important. Only when both of them happens, the case can be taken back under section 381. What if a person who is planning for theft comes up with so much preparation to cause death or hurt to someone else while doing so? That is what discussed under section 382, which says theft after preparation made for causing death, hurt or restraint in order to the committing of the theft. What happens here? Imagine there is one Mr. X. He is going to A's home to do theft. Now he is going with a gun. Now that is the preparation. If A wakes up, he may kill A or he may hurt A. Those possibilities are there in this preparation. Or if A is going to stop him, he may take support from others. Maybe Y is waiting outside to support X. Who knows? If all such preparations are made, in that case the seriousness of offense increases and so the punishment also increases. Here the punishment can go up to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment. Remember, it is not simple imprisonment. It can go up to 10 years of rigorous imprisonment along with fine or with both. And all these offences are cognizable offences, non-bailable offences, non-compoundable offences, and these can be tried by magistrate of first class. That is one another important aspect you need to remember. That's all about section 382. That's all for this particular presentation. I hope I have given sufficient information as far as theft is concerned. If you have already subscribed my channel, thank you so much for the same. If you are yet to, please subscribe my channel right now. Please like, share and comment my videos. All the very best for whatsoever purpose you are referring my channel, and thanks again.